the anticipated Major League Baseball prediction preview here. And yes, the team's ethnic makeup definitely played a factor into how we predicted these teams this year. Clint Norris, no shortage of beers here. He's at least had about a dozen in order to make accurate predictions. And we mean the most accurate predictions that we could possibly offer. So Clint Norris, we're going to go by division here, starting with the American League East. And we both
had to go for that one.
I know, we both agree, a very tough pick for the American League East. So your selection's first there.
Yeah.
I know, I agree. That's pretty much what I said when I was writing divisions down.
Well, I took a beer cap and I threw it against the wall wherever it landed.
More or
Actually,
less.
nothing.
I just wore the order out 3 times and threw some darts.
Well, why don't we just go by last place and
Sure,
we'll
work
name
our
our
way
last
up.
places and go up.
All right, works for me.
All right, last place. Love the team. I've been there to the stadium probably about 60 times the past 5 years. I gotta get my Orioles at 77 wins.
Oh, the son of a bitch, I wrote the same number. 77 and 85. That was my number. Unreal. All right.
By the way, we did not look at each other's
We did
list.
not. This is completely coincidence here.
Okay. Fourth place, I got the Red Sox, 84.
Okay, you did a little better. I have them at 500, 81 and 81. But yeah, I have the Red Sox as the fourth place team in the American League East.
All right, Yankees, 86 wins.
All right, we disagree here. I have the Toronto Blue Jays at 84 and 80.
Yeah, I hope Batista gets hit in the face.
Yeah, well, maybe he accidentally hits himself with a bat.
I actually would have picked the Yankees to be higher up, but they keep getting these injuries and
Maybe he'll accidentally hit himself with his bat flip one day. That'll be humorous.
in the face.
There you go.
Number 2, I got the Blue Jays. Blue Jays, 88 wins.
Okay, and I have the Yankees at 87 and 75, so that's where we differ. And then I think we agree on the number 1 position here. At
Number 1, I'm very surprised. Jalapeno over here's got the Rays. I got Rays at 90.
90? Okay, I only gave him 88. I think the AL East is going to be very tight this year. I mean, like, ridiculously tight. If a team makes it to 90 wins in the AL East, I will be very, very surprised at that. We'll definitely have to save these, on the wall here.
We do.
I'll rewrite these because I made a mess out of
All
this.
right, let's hit the Central.
Yeah, that's a very tough division. And I think
Jalapeno, go first.
I think a wild card will come out of this division, but I also have a triple loss team in this division, or triple digit loss team in this division. I have the Chicago White Sox losing 102 games, 60 and 102.
I got the White Sox losing 92 games.
I
That'd be
think
terrible.
I think their clubhouse is in shambles, especially with the whole Adam LaRoche situation.
But they still have Sales. Sales probably good for at least 18, 19
Yeah,
wins.
I guess. I mean, but yeah, that's where I'm at. I think the White Sox are going to be a travesty
They're
this
going to
year.
be bad.
Yeah. So next I have the Cleveland Indians, a few games below 500. I think the Central will be tighter than you think. Cleveland Indians 80 wins this year.
I got the Twins.
You think Twins?
I
Okay.
love the Twins. I do
Interesting.
love the Twins.
We differ greatly here, actually.
I got the Twins at 76 wins this year.
Okay. So next I got Detroit, 86 wins.
Okay, I got the Indians, 79 wins.
All right. Now, actually, Minnesota I have as a wild card coming out of the AL Central at 91 wins.
I love the Twins. I like that prediction. Probably not going to happen. I like it. I got the Tigers at 89 wins.
89. And then we obviously both agree with the Royals finishing first yet again. 3rd year in a row. That would make them.
What do you got with the World?
93.
I got 91.
All right. 93.
By the way, the wins, it's probably not going to all add up. We're just kind of doing this on the spot.
Yeah.
AL East.
West.
Oh yes, AL. This is why Clint's drunk. That's what he
He
does.
did have at least a dozen beers before
He
he
did.
did this. I'm only seen more sober because I had a Monster Energy drink, but I've had a few beers myself.
Yep.
All right, so Clint Norris, AL West. I think we might agree on last place here.
I like the team, but I got the A's at 68.
Okay. All right, we disagree. I have Seattle last, 70 wins.
I got Seattle 4th, 72.
Okay, we flip-flopped. Oakland, 76.
I got the Angels at 80.
Really, I have Texas at 80.
I got Texas 86.
I have the Angels as my other wild card at 90.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I got the Astros winning the division, 88 wins.
I do too, but I have them at 94.
Hmm.
I think the Astros can really make a play this year in the AL West. Of course, you can never discount the A's. They still have the good pitching. They got Mike Trout. I mean, the guy's a freaking stud. You know.
Angels.
Yeah. What'd I say?
Everybody said the A's.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. He
There's-
hasn't slept in 3 days. So
True. I've been on a massive cocaine bender.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
did play Buck Showalter skit. He was actually in the character. So.
Yes, you have to do massive amounts of cocaine to play Luke Showalter. That skit will follow, actually.
Yes.
Hopefully soon.
Yes. Yes.
We do need to put that one up. Okay, NL East, I think you are first on this.
All right.
And I bet this is the other triple loss team I have
I
here.
have the Braves at 50 wins.
50, wow, okay, I was a little more generous. I had them at 58.
I have them going 50 and 112, I think it adds up.
Yeah,
to.
that's it. I have 58, 104 is what I got them at.
My number, the second worst team, I have the Phillies at 68.
We agree, 68 wins.
Okay.
All right, very good.
The
Then
Marlins?
Yep, Marlins, right.
Marlins, Chen's going to go 16 and 10, and they're going to win 76 games.
All right, I had them 74. Pretty close, pretty close. All right, and then I think the clear-cut first and second place teams are pretty obvious here, but it's a matter of how many wins. But I don't think a wild card will come out of the NL East this year. I think we might have a repeat of last year.
I got the Mets at 86,
Okay, I got them at 92.
and the Nationals are going to have the second most wins, and with 96.
Let's see, are they my second? I think they might have the most wins in baseball this year. If I look at my numbers. Yeah, they will. I think I know who you have as the most. I have the Nats winning the most games at 98 this year. I think the Nats are by and far the class of that division. Now, will they make it far to the playoffs again? Remains to be seen. But I think they are by and far the class of the division and the class of the National League this year.
And they're
Anyway.
playing a terrible division.
True.
I mean, the Mets are not going to do what they did.
No. They'll definitely. I mean, 18 games against those teams. You know, the Nationals are going to do quite well.
So let's go to.
As much as it pains me to say it, I hate the freaking Nationals.
Nobody likes him.
Even their fans don't like him.
Even Bryce Harper don't like him. He don't like anybody.
He's just waiting to cash in at the Yankees.
It's true. Let's go to the Central, my favorite division.
Yes, a very, very perplexing one as well, and I think I'm first here. So, Cincinnati I have last, 68 wins.
Cincinnati got 66.
All right, close there. And I think it's going to be very competitive. I think actually every other team I have is a winning record. I have Milwaukee at 84.
That's amazing. I got Milwaukee at 72.
Okay, I was giving them a little more credit. I think they might be a sleeper.
I like the bold strategy.
They might be a sleeper. Their pitching's decent. They got a pretty good batting order. Not great, but good, you know. And I think the NL Central is just going to beat each other up this year. That being said, I think we're going to have a repeat of last year, and both wild cards will come out of the Central with Pittsburgh going third at 93.
I got Pittsburgh 84.
Okay, not as good as last year. Their pitching has, I think, downgraded a little.
I
but
think being knocked out in the first round last year is beat up the team, and
they also got a chip on their shoulder, I would say.
Yeah,
I don't think Chicago Cubs will win the division, but they'll make it an interesting game. I have them actually at 95 wins.
I got the Cubs at 92.
And then, you know, St. Louis obviously first here, 96.
St. Louis does what no team wants to do. They don't spend any money, and they go
Still
for a farm
win.
system, and
They still win.
they got about 9 people in their outfield they can use. And I've got them at 94 wins.
Yeah.
And their pitching's been absolutely incredible. So let's go for them.
All right, and then we have the NL West, and I think you are first here. I think actually picking the last place teams in this division was harder than picking the first place teams.
All right.
Let's go Norris drinks his third beer during this film.
NL West.
Yeah, I think picking last place was harder than first.
I got the Padres at 66.
I have them 65. It's very close. Very close there. Second place, or second last place, I should say.
I got the Rockies 68.
71. All right, and then the top three I think it might, not quite a repeat of last year, but I think it's clear who might be on top this year, and I think their favoritism is warranted, but go on ahead there.
I got the Dodgers 84. Or
Okay.
I'm sorry, Diamondbacks 84.
Really? Okay, we completely differ there then. I got San Fran finishing third at 89 wins, actually. I think they're going to have a good year.
Okay. I got the Dodgers 92.
I agree. Dodgers 92.
And I got the Giants, the best record in baseball, 98.
Really? I actually have Arizona at 95. I think they might win the West this year. they're just everything lines up for him this year. Their pitching's decent. They signed Greinke. I mean, granted, big contracts don't mean jack sometimes, but
It's a great ballpark for Greinke, but it's all about your farm system. That's how you develop.
but their batting order is very, very potent. You can't ignore that. Goldschmidt and the other folks.
Goldschmidt's one of the best,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, I look at the teams that you look at the last 15 years. The teams that won, and
Yeah.
the Yankees are the only team that actually bought the World Series,
This
which
is
was
true.
2009, 2010,
I think it was
2009.
2000. What was
I think
the
it was
last
9.
one? It was 2008. Was their
I
last
think it was
series.
9.
Whatever. Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
Fuck the Yankees.
So let's go ahead
That's
and
all that matters.
pick who's going to be the playoff teams, and I got the Rays, Blue Jays, Royals, Tigers, Astros.
Okay. Well then, looking back at my notes here, I would have the Rays, Royals, Twins, Houston, and the Angels in the American League. In the National League, I would have the Nats, Cardinals, Cubbies, Pirates, and the Diamondbacks. And
I
for
get-
the series,
I got Nats, Cardinals, Cubs, Giants, and Dodgers.
okay.
Let's go for the World Series. We're not going to do about who's going to the playoff. Going straight to the World Series.
Yeah, the playoffs were 12. I was very hesitant to pick the American League team. I think the Royals can do it again for the third year in a row. It's hard to pick against them.
I took a beer and I looked at it and had nothing to do with what I'm about to say, but I got the Tigers going
Really?
to the World Series this year.
Interesting pick. Okay. But I was very hesitant to pick the Royals the third year in a row, but
Yeah.
it's hard to beat them at this point. I mean, they've pretty much redefining baseball strategy, and
It's
nobody
true.
else has caught up to it at this point.
The
so-
coach has no idea what he's doing.
No, he
It's
doesn't. Ned,
working.
Ned Yost is completely clueless. It's just the team doing what
It's
they
just
do.
working.
Yeah. And for the National League, as much as it pains my counterpart here, I'm going to say the Chicago Cubs will actually make it this year.
Obviously, the Cardinals are going to make it to the World Series because of the best team in baseball history. So the Cardinals will win that series 4-1
Really?
against the
Okay.
Tigers.
I don't want to say the Royals are going to repeat, but they have a pretty good chance against the Cubs. I mean, the Royals always find a way to hit against, tough pitching, and their pitching and their bullpen is just so well set up. I mean, it's all you need is a cold streak, and if they find, a way to beat a team, they usually will, they'll beat you, and just, it's hard to dig yourself out of the hole. I mean, the American League Championship Series that our Orioles were in a couple years ago, they couldn't dig themselves out, and it was just stupid little bloop singles and stuff, and, it's just that, it was just frustrating.
So he's picking Royals.
Yeah, I would pick the Royals.
I'm picking Cardinals.
It's hard for me to say it, but right now they're just the class of baseball. They're just playing.
You know something?
in a
I hope
different
the
league.
Orioles win the whole entire thing.
Sure, if they win 162 games, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. But I don't see them hitting the ball, contact hitting. Spring training, they might be bunting against the third base side, but, against a shift with Wieters and Alvarez. But Chris Davis he's just going to go up there and try to hit home runs the whole entire time.
Actually,
And he will hit 39 this year, but
I do have a minor revision here. I think the Braves will go -1 and 163.
that's probably about what they're going to do.
-1 and 163.
Anyway, that's our predictions, and we're wasted. At least I am. And, hey,
Surprisingly, after the alcohol I've drank, all my wins and losses add up to 162, which is pretty incredible.
I know.
I didn't know how I could do the math here.
he did the math. I was not even going to think about the math.
I need to rewrite these, so I made a huge mess out of this. So.
Well, we're about 14 minutes in this video, so I'll catch
Probably.
you next time.